And on the next episode of Panama Matches solves a crime so heinous, so redonkulous. What is that crime, Matches?
The crime of the missing children? No, wait, that's too dark.
No. The crime of the upset children. Why are they upset? They're clean it up. Yeah. The
I gotta do summer look, but I can only wear my hat or my headphones. I have a problem. So
you have to make a choice. You know what? You can either wear the hat and look cool, but not hear me. I know what you'd probably choose. I get it. I think it looked good. I think it looked like a smooth criminal. Oh!
Thank you.
And you guys might be wondering, what is going on here? Why has there been an episode missing of NOMS Podcast, which stands for
Nerding Out with Matt Shannon.
That's right. Ooh! Oh! Yeah. I'm Shannon from Bangor, Maine. That's right, I'm from Maine.
And I'm Matches from Bangor, Columbia.
Okay. I would have said Bangor Rain. That would have been good, you know.
Bangor Rain.
Wow. You know, that was one of Groot's favorite parts of Deadpool 2.
Really?
It's when they would play Bangarang, and he'd be like, "Is dubstep still a thing?" And yeah, he loved it.
That's funny.
But you might be wondering, you might be noticed that we missed a show, and we're gonna get into that later in the show. Apparently, Matches was MIA. You were missing for quite a while, weren't you?
I was. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that later. I think we'll find out the reasons why. Hey, there's a lot going on though. We are a few days removed from a brand new Pope.
Oh, that's right. And a U.S. Pope at that.
Right? USA. I know, right? I've already got a song ready. American Pope, you better bless me. I think it'll work. I think he should come out to that.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, it was either new Pope, they were going to go with Pope Classic, but they decided to go in a new direction. Hopefully this will work better. Come on, you know, people love that joke. People love that.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, no, I'm super about that.
That's right. You know, when the white smoke comes out, that means they have chosen a new pope.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I love the white smoke.
Right. The black smoke means they have not chosen a new pope.
Yeah, something like that.
Now, the red and yellow smoke means they're going out for McDonald's.
Oh.
Yeah. Speaking of tasty treats, what is your favorite... Now, we're all fans of Stephen King here, right?
Yeah,
all two of us. Okay. When did you? Let me ask this question because I think I sent you and your brother like a little meme or whatever. What age did you read your first Stephen King book?
Ooh. I think I was in college.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
An appropriate age.
An appropriate age. I was about to say, I feel like the age for most people around our age ranges are way too young.
Yeah. Well, the movie tonight was the first Stephen King book I think I ever read.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
The movie that we are going to cover. Oh,
yeah.
That's
I've read a handful after that. I love Stephen King. I do. I think he's very, very good.
Oh,
in the 80s and early 90s, it was just spot on too. So
right, just one after the other, just boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And he still writes good books. I think I haven't read any of his new stuff. But I started reading it. I think it's 7th grade or maybe 6th grade.
Oh, okay, man.
Yeah. Because I went to a tiny school. So if two people liked it, we all liked it. But one of my friends was like, check it out, Stephen King, and I had heard the name growing up. Like in the horror section of the video store, there were like posters like Stephen King's Carrie, Stephen King's Cujo. You know,
couldn't go anywhere without that.
That's right. I think Cujo was the first book I ever read. And it was a little freaky deaky, but then watched this movie. So what do you think? But so we're not going to mention the name of this one real quick because it might be considered one of the best. What is your favorite Stephen King movie adaptation?
That's a good question, actually.
Yeah.
Let me think. And that's hard because there's been so many. Like
there's been a ton, right?
Yeah.
Well, and not counting TV movies though. We'll cut that.
Okay. Oh gosh, that cuts it down. Let me think.
Yeah, a little bit.
I did enjoy that series on Hulu, The Castle Rock or whatever it was.
I want to watch that. Yeah, it's influenced by a lot of his different works. Is that true? It's not one?
And it's got Lizzie Kaplan as Annie when she was younger.
Do you mean Annie Wilkes from the Stephen King book
Misery?
Misery. That's right.
Are you familiar with Misery?
Why? Yes, I am, because that's the name of tonight's movie that we're doing on
NOMS podcast.
Yes, NOMS podcast. That's right. We're doing Misery. Now, would you say Misery is your favorite Stephen King movie adaptation?
No.
Okay. Can you think of what it is?
Honestly, I'm thinking like, I really don't know. They're all good. They're just all good.
I know. Well,
no, I'm going to have to say The Mist.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with that ending.
Oh, yeah, especially with the ending. No one saw that coming. That was horrific.
Oh, literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that ending is like the Napoleon Dynamite of endings. You really love it or you hate it.
Oh, wow. That's good. Yeah.
I feel like that because, like, when I saw it in the theater, I was like, because the book
breakdowns of it and stuff, and how some of these things are related to things in other of his books and things like that.
You mean what now? The movie The Mist has
certain not in plain sight, but like they're pretty sure that like I think the crazy lady that was in it. Remember the crazy lady?
Yeah,
she's supposed to be like an evil red thing or something from one of his books or something.
That makes sense because he has overlap of a lot of characters.
Yeah,
and especially locations like Castle Rock in a lot of his books. Yeah, and they are kind of intermingled, and that's what's great. I mean, for every Shawshank Redemption and Misery, you've also got Dolan's Cadillac, which they actually made a movie about, which they didn't need to.
Really? What's your favorite Stephen King movie adaptation?
My favorite Stephen King. My favorite Stephen King non-TV adaptation, my gosh, I don't know. There's so many good ones. I mean, Shawshank is great. It might be Misery.
Okay.
It might be Misery.
That's fair. Like, if you ask any random guy off the street what their favorite movie is, it's going to be Shawshank Redemption. So I try to stay away from that one.
Right. Even though it's wonderful, but you feel like you suddenly turn to Morgan Freeman and you're like, Andy Dufresne came to prison as a man. But Shawshank is great. Misery is great. Green Mile is great. And I noticed a lot of Stephen
Green
King,
Mile.
Right? Walking at Green Mile.
Tragic.
Didn't you tell me when we saw it, you thought it was going to be about something different, or had you read the book? I can't remember.
No, I don't think I ever got to read the book. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think I knew what it was about, so it could have been anything.
Well, you were joking with me. He goes, I thought it was about a guy just walking a Green Mile.
Yeah, walking a mile. Why not?
Walking a mile. And maybe we could do that one day. I'm sure Ebert covered it with the guest reviewer.
Yeah, did you ever hear the story about Sam Rockwell in that movie? About his interview? Or his audition process? No, I didn't. But I know he's wonderful in that movie. Yeah, it was the stuff of legend, apparently. And everyone heard the story. It was told for generations that he came in and said,
oh, no.
He started reading his lines. And like, oh, you're supposed to read this, this, and this or whatever. And he was like, oh, can I just go out in the hall and come back after when I'm ready? Took 20 minutes, came back and nailed it. Like, had it all down perfectly. And later, I think it was Olivia Wilde asked him, it was like, hey, and ask him about that story. And he goes, oh, yeah, I used to do that all the time. It got me jobs all the time.
Sam Rockwell is an American treasure, and we don't love him enough.
Yeah, that's true.
I know he'd been in stuff before that, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, very small. Yeah,
it's one of those you have to go back and you're like, is that Sam Rockwell?
Yeah, that is like awesome. I love that guy.
That might have been one of his first breakout roles.
Yeah.
Like I know I had seen him and stuff, but that was the first time that he was ever like, kid.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And he was so like in it right there. Like, he was so good.
Well, tonight, speaking of opinion, we are going to talk about, I guess, my favorite Stephen King movie adaptation, non-TV. Okay. One of the best. If you'll notice, a lot of people that laud the best Stephen King adaptations, they're usually ones that aren't straight up horror. Have you noticed that? Like, there are ones that are, but like Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, more dramas.
And some of them are like short stories. Like some of his short stories are some of the best movies I've seen. Like I liked 1408 with John Cusack.
People love 1408.
Yeah,
I am on the fence. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, a lot of people love it. I don't
Yeah.
love it as much as other people.
The book is really scary though, like actually scary. Yeah, or it's I guess it's part of a collection of short stories. Yeah.
As was Stand By Me. Well, sort of a novel, a little bit longer short story.
Yeah.
Well, this book is not a short story. And if you've heard the podcast before, you remember my story of how I was going to do a book report on Misery. And I was like, I don't have time to read this. So having seen the movie a gazillion times, I wrote my book report on the movie. And my English teacher, who was my cousin too, I mean, we were in that town, she said, wow, Shannon, this is a really good report on the film. And I did pass, but not with the kind of grade that my parents were proud of.
Oh, no. Yeah.
At least on that assignment.
I know you've said before that you hate it when people say they like the book so much better than the movie or whatever.
No. I just get tired of people saying, because I grew up with people who love Stephen King too. They were like, yeah, she cut his foot off in the book. Spoiler, she cut his foot off in the book.
Yeah, it was... Well, I mean, like the banging it with a sledgehammer is pretty horrific. I'll tell you that they did that very well.
And we're gonna talk about why they chose to do that.
Yeah.
Instead of following.
But yeah, the book. I'm just saying, there's no contest. Like the themes and the subtext and everything in the book was so there, and it was like the movie was just a surface level version of all of it. And so when I saw it, I was like, "What was that? That was nothing. Nothing just happened on the screen." You know.
Really?
Yeah, okay. But okay. I loved it. I liked what's his name? Is it James Caan?
Yes.
Yeah, James Caan. And of course, and some people think he should have gotten the Oscar.
I felt that way too. I mean, of course, my criteria was a little weird back then. Yeah. My mom still does not forgive the Oscars for not nominating John Travolta and Nicolas Cage from Face Off. I kid you not.
Are you serious?
She is still upset about that. But they were great. I mean,
it's a fun movie. But no. I tried to watch it recently, and I found it kind of hard to get through. It went on and on and on. Like, are they going to face off? I don't even think I got to the face off.
Well, we'll save that for another show, because that, as you know, is a Shannon family classic.
We'll have to do it. Yeah, I always loved it. I did.
Well, Misery is also a Shannon family classic, because we rented it, and we watched it over and over. And like I said, my parents were our youth directors at the time at our little church. And we had a youth night at our house, and we watched Misery as a youth group.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, and it is R-rated, but it's not that R-rated.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And for those of you who have never heard of what the movie's about, first we're going to play those wonderful sounds that sound like...
Any minute now. Is it time to go into the
Wait, I don't know. I thought we'd go kind of into it. You know.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. I like that, yeah.
You want to preface it?
We're just waiting.
You want to tease it? I'm your number one fan. That's so nice. So Misery involves, shocker, a writer. How many Stephen King books were writers were the protagonists were there?
What?
Or the person became a writer?
Yeah, like writers love to write about writers.
They do. Yeah. They do. And it's funny because, so this movie involves what is his last name? I forgot. Paul.
Oh God.
Paul Wall. Paul Flowers. No. Paul.
Oh, I had it.
Paul Bearer.
No. Oh, Shannon. I can't remember. Oh, gosh.
Well, this involves a writer played by the wonderful and late, great James Caan, named Paul, and Matches will get the last name in just a second. He is a writer of a series of books about a character named Misery Chastain, who is a wicked, devious Southern Belle anti-hero that people love to hate and hate to love. And he's been
Paul Sheldon, sorry.
Paul Sheldon, thank you. I completely forgot. These have been very popular books. They've made him a huge writing star. And like a lot of authors, he feels stuck in a rut. So he decides he is going to write a novel that has nothing to do with misery. He's going to kill the character off in his latest book. Yep. And so we catch him at the beginning of the movie. He's writing a book called Fast Cars. You remember that?
Yes.
And then he happens to get in a fast car. He's in a snowy part of the world, gets into an accident, gets rescued by a woman who just happens to be his biggest fan. Oh, I'm your number one fan, Paul. Yeah. And it ends wonderfully. They get married. They fall in love. They have kids. No, that's not what happens.
No, not exactly. But what I do
No.
like about the movie is, I mean, she's kind of crazy, but you just don't know how crazy she is yet. You're like,
No.
yeah, and they build that up for the movie, and I think that's wonderful. Like, that's great
Yes.
because they don't do that in the book. The first line of the book of his is like, I could tell she was the most crazy woman I'd ever seen in my life.
Really?
Yeah. And it's like, bangerang from there,
There's no stopping. Full tilt boogie.
No, it's crazy.
Wow, that is crazy. Well, so Annie saves his life, and then after a while, Paul realizes he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe she called the cops. Maybe she didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, can't have him running away.
Nope, cannot have him running away. There's going to be lots of fun stuff to talk about in this movie. We're going to talk about how they did so lot with such a little cast.
Yeah.
The cast is great, okay?
Yeah.
And here's what I discovered by looking at the cast list. Just about every person with a major speaking part in this movie is dead. Except for the wonderful Kathy Bates as Annie Wilkes.
Is misery cursed?
Dun, dun, dun! Or was everybody old when the movie came out?
Yeah, that could be.
I mean, you had the immortal James Caan, who I think at the time was in a bit of a rut and was looking for like a hit. And we know James Caan from tons of great movies. Not one of my favorites, but The Godfather. People love The Godfather.
Yeah.
You know, he was Sonny, the hothead, if I'm correct. My mom loves The Godfather, which is hilarious to me.
Really? Okay, I still have not seen The Godfather so much.
Well, I won't spoil it.
Yeah, don't spoil it. But I want to wait until it's like showing at a theater, like a late night like showing. That's always what I want to do. I know it's on Tubi, but if I had to sit there and watch it with commercials, possibly edited, like...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watched
that on streaming?
Well, I didn't think so, but we watched Tommy Boy on Tubi the other day, and the part where he's going, Richard, who's your favorite little rascal, Alfalfa or Spanky? It's gone.
They censored just that line?
Just that one. I don't know why.
But they showed the scene. But they censored the line.
They started it, and then they went to commercial and came back, and it wasn't there.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I was horrified. It was my roommate's first time watching this movie, and so I was just showing it to them.
And spoiler alert, we are going to do Tommy Boy sometime. We have to.
And then I did the line, and he laughed so hard. I was like, yeah, that was supposed to be right there. I'm sorry.
Well, speaking of very, very much missed celebrities, rest in peace, Farley. Yeah. You've got, so Kathy Bates is alive, and she plays Annie Wilkes, and we're going to talk about how awesome, how she and James Caan make the movie work so well. Oh. But you've got Lauren Bacall, legendary Lauren Bacall, who used to work with Bogey. Wow. Okay? Yeah, that's right. Bogart. It's not just a phrase, kids. It was an actor. And you've got Frances Sternhagen, who a lot of people from our generation might know as Cliff Clavin's mom from Cheers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And she was in The Mist. She's in a few other Stephen King adaptations. She was on his first show called The Golden Years. There you go. You've got Richard Farnsworth, who we talked about in a David Lynch movie or two, like The Straight Story.
Okay.
Yeah, sadly, he ended his life a year after The Straight Story came out. Really? You got J.T. Walsh in a very uncredited small role.
Oh, wow. I forgot that. Yay.
Yeah. So pretty much everyone who has a major line of dialogue is gone, except for Kathy Bates. Yeah, it's kind of
We need to do a J.T. Walsh special one. I just love that guy.
One of the best character actors ever.
Yeah. He was getting so big before he died, like right when he died.
He was in everything,
Yeah, he was.
So, speaking of being in everything, we don't just do the show ourselves. In case you're listening for the first time, how do we go about our duties of talking about the movies?
Well, we go about our duties about talking about the movies with a little help from our friends Siskel
and
Ebert.
That's
that
right.
Would be Gene Siskel and Robert Ebert. Right now, that's wrong. Roger. Ebert.
Robert Ebert was his father.
That's right.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. It might have been. That's right. Siskel and Ebert, they had At the Movies, an awesome review show from... When did it start? We're always fuzzy on this.
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
Late 70s,
they had one show in the 70s, and then it turned into the Disney years by like 86. Okay.
Until
early
Siskel
70s,
passed away.
I think it started. Maybe 73, 74. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And then Siskel passed away in 99. Yeah. And Ebert kept the show going with guests. And then he chose Richard Roper.
Yep, Richard Roper.
Siskel's a very worthy replacement.
Yeah.
But still not Siskel. But yeah, Siskel and Ebert. And they're going to review the movie. And what do you think they thought about this movie?
Oh, God. Everyone loved this movie when it came out. I'm going to say that they absolutely adored it.
Yeah. I don't think a
both
lot of
performances. Yeah.
Right. And like, as we said, it's a very simple premise. Like, for the most part of the movie, you've got James Caan and Kathy Bates, and that's it.
Yeah. That's it. That's all we need.
Richard, go ahead.
So that's all we need. I don't know.
That's all we need. Richard Farnsworth plays the local sheriff, and Frances Sternhagen is his deputy, but also his wife.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a great line when they're in the truck together. And she says something about, she basically wants to go home and get it on with the sheriff.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what she says. And he's like, woman, I'm trying to solve a case.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's one thing that's different in the book is the sheriff scene. And I'm trying to think. You know him.
Scene?
You know him more in the book.
Oh.
Yeah. And
okay. More time for character development.
Spoiler alert. She kills him with a lawnmower.
Yes, in the book. We will talk about differences between the book and the movie, but yes, it's a lot more graphic in the book.
It's wacky, zany, over the top. And that's why I like Kathy Bates in this, because she played it like a cartoon character, I think. He played it like a real person, I think. And she was the zany, like...
And they balanced each other.
And they did. I think that's why this works. Some people say that they don't like her performance because of that, but I think it works. Really? Like, the contrast is the only thing that would make that work.
Well, I want to talk about after we hear Siskel Ebert. Yeah. About her performance and what it did. It did make her a star because she was relatively unknown.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
She had been on theater a lot, but she was relatively unknown on screen. And then a year later, she's in Fried Green Tomatoes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, we love that one. You know that.
Yeah, we do.
Titanic. Come on. The Unsinkable, Molly Brown.
About Schmidt.
About Schmidt, anyone? Come on.
Yes.
I saw that movie and I don't remember anything about it.
I remember Jack Nicholson married to someone his own age in that movie. It was weird.
Yeah, real weird. I was taken out of reality real quick.
I know, right?
All right.
What? That's not our... Well,
are you ready to see... Oh, wait. I got one question. Are they going to be giddy or not giddy?
I don't know. They might be over...
You never know when they're going to be giddy about something. You
really don't.
Speed, they were giddy about, like, of all movies.
Yeah, Roxanne. They were very giddy.
Yeah.
It's a hoot.
I love it when they get giddy. I do.
I can't wait to see.
They're like little schoolgirls.
Let's roll that Siskel and Ebert magic.
Let's do it. We're going to share that screen.
I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times. And I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune. Our first film is called Misery, and just as with his film Stand By Me, also based on a Stephen King book, director Rob Reiner brings a lot of humor to the screen, and that makes the psychological horror of this picture work so well. James Caan plays a successful novelist who has written a whole series of potboilers featuring a female character named Misery. When he has a car accident after writing his latest book at a rural getaway, he's saved by a strange woman who used to be a nurse. He says she's his #1 fan.
Your shoulder was pretty badly dislocated. It was a little stubborn, but I finally popped it back in. What I'm most proud of is the work I did on those legs. You have a compound fracture of the tibia in both legs, and the fibula in the right leg is fractured too. You've got a lot of recovering to do. I consider it an honor that you'll do it in my home.
That's actress Kathy Bates in a comically chilling performance as the fan. It turns out that she is keeping him captive in that bedroom, pretending the phones are not working. She doesn't like the new book he's written.
You dirty bird. How could you? Misery Chastain cannot be dead.
Annie, in 1871, women often died in childbirth. But her spirit is the important thing, and Misery's spirit is still alive.
I don't want her dead! I want her!
Seems the only person who can save James Caan is the town sheriff, a crusty sort nicely played by the always appealing Richard Farnsworth.
I figured that if I can't find Paul Sheldon, at least I can find out what he wrote about.
What do you expect to find? A story about a guy who drove his car off a cliff in a snowstorm?
Quite steadily, the tension is turned up in the house where James Caan is being held captive. He's managed to get out of his room for an exploratory look around the house, and that freaks out his fans.
Paul, do you know about the early days at the Kimberley Diamond Mine? Do you know what they did to the native workers who stole diamonds? Don't worry, they didn't kill them. That would be like junking a Mercedes just because it had a broken spring. No, if they caught them, they had to make sure they could go on working. But they also had to make sure they could never run away. The operation was called hobbling.
Annie,
I hope our
whatever
audience
you
has already
think
seen
I'm not
this.
doing, please don't do it.
You think they're going to show it?
No.
Her matter-of-fact tone is really very good there, and that little cross that's around her neck all the time takes on an ironic, threatening quality. Director Rob Reiner does a very good job of mixing horror and humor here. The shooting style is crisp and clean. We remember the detail of individual shots, a bobby pin on the floor, an empty telephone, a smudge on a piece of typing paper. Barry Sonnenfeld, who also photographed the beautiful Miller's Crossing, he did the fine camera work here too. And Kathy Bates is equal to the juicy role she's been given to play. That's why Misery is the most enjoyable, if sometimes gruesome, entertainment.
Now, this is basically a movie with two people in it,
Right.
apart from the real nice supporting performances by people like Richard Farnsworth, and they're both good. And I think there was a trap here in that both of them could have easily overacted. He could have turned into some kind of a real suffering martyr, and she could have turned into some sort of avenging angel. And her sweetness and humor in the role
Yes.
is what kind of sells it in a way. It makes her even scarier.
Also, James Caan, who has been good but erratic in his career, plays the guy as at the top of his intelligence. He's smart. He's ticked off. You know, it's not done as the world's greatest novelist. He's a regular person. It's a very nice, even keel performance on his part.
So often I think Stephen King's books often seem to be based on autobiographical things that he finds in his own life, and he must have gotten a lot of letters from fans who didn't like the way some of his books turned out, and this is his way of extending that a little further. Our next film...
You should say that, Robert Ebert.
Yeah.
Do you know what inspired Stephen King to write Misery and write about Paul Shelton trying to break out of his chains?
Well, no, part of it was like, the fans saying, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Like, he did have a fantasy book at one point in the 80s that was supposed to be really good.
Of the Dragon.
Eyes of the
very
Dragon.
good. You should read it. It's very good.
Yeah. And so he was just like, oh, you're a horror author. That's all we want to see from you. And he never considered himself the master of horror. He said, like, he doesn't accept or reject those labels. Like, he just never saw himself like that, which is cool. He's his own guy. Let him do whatever.
And that's how he invented Paul as a writer trying to break out from fan expectation. Eyes of the Dragon, I don't know if it introduces Randall Flagg, but it has Randall Flagg, who is the protagonist or antagonist of a lot of Stephen King's works.
Yeah. Huh.
Including The Stand.
Well, I know, what was it? In On Writing, Stephen King's writing book, which is really good. Like, even if you don't write, read that book. It's great. Yeah. He said that also Annie is booze, Annie is cocaine, and something like that, to that effect.
Because he had
he
a
was
drug
tired
addiction
of writing
at the time.
for them. Yeah.
He had a drug addiction at the time, and drugs were his number one fan.
Yeah.
Is what he said.
Yep. So there's that too. Yeah.
Yeah. He came up with Annie in a dream. And like you said, the Eyes of the Dragon, the fan reaction is what caused him to do that. And let's see. So that's exactly what.
Cool. Spot on. Yeah.
It was going to be a Bachman book. Do you know the Richard Bachman books?
Yeah, I do. There's like 3 of them, right? I mean, like, there's not very many.
I think there's more than that. I feel like was Stand By Me one of them? Like that?
No,
that whole novel.
No, it was Stephen King. Like, I was surprised. He only had like 3 titles that I saw. Like,
well,
I thought it was more
Richard
than that.
Bachman. Richard Bachman was his what do they call that?
It's a pseudonym or his pseudonym. Like
maybe I don't know. Extra
pseudonym.
Writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, pseudonym. Okay, sure, yeah. He would
But it's
write
like an extra
other novels
pseudonym. Like if Stephen King weren't his real name, that would be a pseudonym. But
right.
I mean, yeah. So I guess that is,
alter ego.
Yeah, he wanted to write something different, and those got popular. But then someone found out who he was by, I guess, where they sent his check or something like that. Somebody was like,
it got exposed.
Yeah.
Wasn't The Running Man one of the Bachman books? I feel like
maybe. I don't know.
I feel like there's a series collected together called the Bachman books that have like that in it and some others.
Oh, that would be cool. I don't remember. Yeah
maybe.
He has so much stuff, man.
So Misery was definitely inspired by him trying to, kick the habit and blah and all that. Hey, you know what this movie though? This movie was directed by a real meathead.
Oh, was it?
Rob Reiner.
I know. That's silly that I forgot that until this week. And I was like, oh my God, Rob Reiner.
Yeah, he was meathead on All in the Family.
Yeah, that's true.
Not to be confused with All My Children.
He also did many other things.
Yes. Did he direct Stand By Me? Am I wrong?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's directed a lot of great movies from our day.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
I have to tell you something. He also directed a fun music video back in 1994 when Reba McEntire, stay with me, Reba McEntire did a duet with Linda Davis, who is from the Arkansas area, and my parents know her and her family.
Really?
Yeah. And Reba and Linda did a duet. I can't remember what it was called, but basically it was about like they were both with the same man. And at the end of the video, Linda's on a boat with the man, and it blows up, and Reba's standing on the shore with a big smile on her face.
Are you serious?
And then it cuts back, and you see a film crew, and Rob Reiner's there showing her, and here comes Linda Davis in a little blanket, and he's like, "Hey, you like that? Yeah, you're dead. You're dead."
Oh, wow, that's fun. Okay.
So I think he directed the music video, but he also was in it. Yeah.
Nice.
And Rob Reiner has a cameo in the movie as a helicopter pilot.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
So there you
Cool.
go. There you go. Yeah. So I think they liked it, right? Thumbs
They
up?
did, yeah. And I like how Kathy Bates' performance here, like Stephen King was so inspired by, he wrote a whole book for her. Did you know this? A whole part for her.
Explain.
Okay,
Like
well,
the
do you remember Stephen King's Dolores Claiborne?
Because she also played Dolores Claiborne.
Yeah, she played Dolores Claiborne, but he actually created that just with her in mind.
The book.
Yeah.
Oh, so if like it got turned into a movie.
Yeah, and it did,
Yeah,
and she
yeah,
did.
'cause
So yeah, that's what he
It
wanted.
was one of those books. Well, it was one of those books that like automatically got film rights like right before it came out.
Yeah, and that's why
Yeah.
she was in The Stand as well, and a character that was a man in the book turned into a woman for The Stand.
Oh, the original one or the
I don't
remake?
remember.
Oh, okay.
One of them.
Well, the script was written by William Goldman. And William Goldman, I wrote it down because I'd forget otherwise.
Yeah, same.
William Goldman wrote some of the greatest, what are considered some of the greatest films. I'll just give you a rundown. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid,
Okay.
the original Stepford Wives.
Wow.
Yeah, not the Nicole Kidman version. All the President's Men,
Okay.
Marathon Man, both starring Dustin Hoffman.
I feel like he
And-
has a type of movie.
Well,
he writes.
I don't know because he also wrote Maverick, the Mel Gibson version of the TV show. He wrote Chaplin, but then he wrote one of the greatest films of all time. And I'll give you a clue.
Okay.
No more rhymes. I mean it.
Are you serious?
Anybody want it? He wrote The Princess
Peanut?
Bride. Anybody
Oh.
want a peanut?
Wow. And of course, Rob Reiner directed. So match made in heaven. So yeah.
They work together well. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So, in this movie, like we said, Annie Wilkes, great character. Kathy, I agree with Siskel Ebert totally. Kathy Bates could have made her over the top, and she was bigger than life, but it was grounded, because there's a lot of sadness in her character. Like, even as an 8th grader, I could tell there was like some sadness in her cheery demeanor,
Yeah.
And then James Caan plays his part so well. He's just trying to figure out what's going on.
I like
why
what
no one's
Siskel
coming to
said
help.
about him not playing a famous author. He's playing a human being, and so convincingly that it works so well.
And did you know we almost got Warren Beatty playing the role?
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, but Warren Beatty wanted to make him more aggressive and more proactive and more like, "Arr!"
Yeah, he didn't want to be the guy in the bed, did he?
He didn't want to
The
be the
whole time.
passive guy. But luckily, Dick Tracy went overtime filming, and he
Oh,
wasn't able to
wow.
commit to the part.
Good. I
And
love
do you
Dick
know who-
Tracy. If you ask me what my favorite movie is, and I had to pick just one, I think it's going to
Are
be
you
Dick
serious?
Tracy. Yeah,
You picked Dick Tracy?
it's great.
Okay.
Every bit of it's so wonderful. The script, the dialogue,
Nice.
the acting. It's
Okay,
so
nice.
weird.
I would pick from Justin to Kelly with Kelly Clarkson
I
and
know
Justin
you would.
Guarini.
I know.
So anyway, I'm just kidding. I've never seen it.
For
and I
my
don't
money,
want
it
to.
doesn't get any better.
Hi, Michael Bolton. So, we almost got him. There was a bunch of actors they asked, like Harrison Ford, Kevin Kline. They all turned down the role. You know who we almost got as Annie?
Let me guess.
Okay.
Demi
yes,
Moore.
You said, no. Think older. Well, I mean,
Older. Okay.
then Demi Moore. I think
Lori
she's
Petty.
older. Oh my gosh! Could you imagine that? I'm your biggest fan.
Your favorite. Oh yeah, you
No.
love her.
I would burn that movie. No,
I love
no,
her.
no. We almost got an icon who is beloved. Bette Midler was
Oh.
asked to do in the role, but she turned it down.
Yeah.
And then after the movie came out, and all the good things happen after that, she says it's one of her biggest regrets.
Wow. I love Bette Midler, and especially that era of Bette Midler, Beaches and all that stuff. But I don't wish that on anybody. Kathy Bates is the only one that could do that, and James Caan's the only one who could do Sheldon.
Exactly. Whenever you go back and you look at who could have gotten the role, you're like, that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, but I can see me getting Kathy Bates confused with Bette Midler back in the day. Maybe that even happened, Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that. Well, like we said, this movie opened up doors for her because she was nominated and won a Best Actress Oscar for this film. And
they love her. They really love her.
They really love her. Well, I remember watching the show and her acceptance speech. She apologized. She goes, "My apologies to Jimmy Caan about the foot."
Did she really?
Yeah.
She seems to have a really dry, cool sense of humor.
Yes.
Like, she really does.
Kathy Bates is an American treasure.
Oh,
okay.
She is. Yeah, absolutely.
She is so great. I mean, she's the only one who could play Charlie Sheen's character in Heaven on 2.5 Men, and I wouldn't hate her.
Wow. Okay.
Even though I hate that show. Yeah, she was nominated for an Emmy for playing him in Heaven.
Oh,
like
really?
What he looked like after he did. Yes, for one
That's
episode.
Weird.
Yeah, it was an odd casting choice.
Yeah, I kind of like that though. That's quirky and fun.
Yeah, that'd be the only episode I'd ever watch. Probably
the only kudos to them. Yeah.
No. Yeah, the only kudos to get. Only. Well, Melanie Linsky, also a treasure.
Oh yeah, she got stuck in that contract though, and they weren't using her.
No.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, speaking of nightmares, how many Stephen King adaptations have won an Oscar?
Okay.
Do you know this? Trivia time. Pop quiz, hotshot.
1.
That's right.
Is it really?
Misery is the only. Now, it's not the only Stephen King adaptation to be nominated.
Yeah.
Carrie was the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Sissy Spacek and Piper Laurie were for Best Actress and Best Supporting.
Yeah,
respectively. Shawshank was nominated for Best Actor Morgan Freeman, Best Picture, whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, it didn't win anything.
Stand By Me was nominated. Oh, go ahead.
Shawshank didn't win anything?
No, Shawshank didn't. Well, it didn't win Best Picture. No, it didn't win a thing.
Okay. That's weird.
I know, I'm shocked.
That's really odd, yeah.
That's like the go-to movie, yeah. Stand By Me was nominated for Adapted Screenplay, and Green Mile was nominated. I don't know if he was nominated for Best Picture, but Michael Clark Duncan was nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Oh, okay. Cool. Good.
Yep. But Misery's the only one.
I think I cried when he died. Like, he's the only celebrity I think I cried when he died.
Oh,
because he seems so gentle and so good, you know.
I know he was like you feel like every word he said was like, "Hey, you want some Skittles?"
Yeah. Oh, I just love him. Yeah.
He was so intense. Yeah,
I
loved him in Armageddon. I'm not gonna lie, he was great as Baron.
Yeah.
That's the first time I'd ever seen him. So yeah, that's the only movie to win an Oscar. But I mean, Kathy Bates was wonderful, and it catapulted her career. And
Absolutely.
And this movie is so good, like you said. The poor sheriff in the film, when he goes, he's suspecting something's up, so he goes to visit, Annie in her isolated little house and get some tea. And Paul, like it showed, he'd been, kind of moving around the house in his wheelchair. Well, first off, why is he in the wheelchair? Because Annie decided, as she said in that clip, to hobble him.
Yes.
And that is a scene that a lot of people really turn away from because they show it.
Yeah. They show that foot go all hobbly is what happens.
Yep. She sledgehammers both feet. It does go. It's a wacky waving tube guy.
It is. I love it.
It's wonderful.
It's pretty gruesome, and I love that.
So much fun. And so she's got him hobbled because he's getting up around the house whenever she's gone. And I got to mention real quick, she's very distraught that he has killed off Misery. So she's forcing him to write a book where Misery returns.
Yep.
Sits up a little writer's room, gets him addicted to painkillers.
And there's no one he hates worse in the world, even Annie Wilkes, than Misery.
Oh, Misery. I know he had said the last word on her. She had died, and she wants him to resurrect him. So he's in the house, and Paul's in the wheelchair, and he makes enough noise that the sheriff hears it. And unlike the book, he gets shot in the back, which is pretty bad.
Yeah.
But in the book, what happens? He gets run over by a lawnmower.
Yeah, she does something to him, and he's like knocked down. Doesn't she stab
him first, where he's on the ground?
I think so, yeah. And that keeps him down, and then she just runs over with the lawn.
Could you imagine if if they had stuck to that, you could just see her like, now hold still, you cock-a-doodle,
Yeah.
dirty bird.
Yeah. Oh god, I imagine it like the steamroller scene in Austin Powers, where he's like,
No! Get out of the way! Get out of the way! How many times after that movie, after Austin Powers, did you do that whenever there was like far away danger? Like
so many times, every time, still to this day.
I do too. No.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, so that's the difference between the book and, of course, in the book, as I've said before, she does cut his foot off, and she also cuts off one of his thumbs, if you remember.
Yeah, it's pretty horrific detail in the novel. And,
yes, it is very much horrific detail. Another thing that I alluded to is her use of language.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Annie doesn't really like to cuss.
Yeah.
So my mom. I forgot to say. Well, like I said, this is a Shannon family classic. My mom loves Misery.
Yeah.
When I told her we were going to do it, she texted back, "I'm your biggest fan, Paul."
Oh, nice. Yeah.
She said, "That's a great one."
Aww.
So she might actually listen to this one. I don't know.
Good. I hope so. Yeah.
Hi,
Miss Gloria.
Yeah,
Sorry for any curses you might hear.
Sorry, Mom. We got to work blue.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs now, Mom. Earmuffs. So she has these words that my mom she'd be like going around the house like, "Mr. Man, you dirty bird."
Yeah.
I believe the word cock-a-doodle is used a lot.
Yeah, they go really lean into that. I think in the Hulu version of with Lizzie Kaplan. You need to see that.
Yeah.
It's
Tell
fun.
us about that. Tell us about her part in Castle Rock.
Honestly,
towards the last season, right?
I think whether only 2 seasons or because it was like I think there was 2. Well, I saw 2 seasons. In the second season, it was her.
Okay.
And I mean, all I can say is that it takes place in the past and that she plays her to a T, I think. Like,
really?
I think she was very good. Yeah, first season was okay to me. It started out really good. And then, like, second season was like, wow, she's a little firecracker.
I started it and I never did. I got busy with the first episode, so I was like, I'll go back.
Just start the second season. You're fine. They're not related. It's an anthology.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, it's an anthology. Okay. I was wondering. Well, Annie was a nurse, a very well-trained nurse, but apparently she was a nurse of mercy, an angel of mercy, if you will. She had been responsible for a lot of deaths, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if they go into detail on the TV show.
The night nurse or the whatever you call them. Whatever you call them.
The good night nurse.
Yeah, I can't remember how the detail they go into in the book, but you know it, I think. Yeah.
Well, I have heard that the last scene or one of the last scenes is her waiting in line to get a book autographed by Paul Sheldon.
Oh,
I've heard
yeah.
Spoiler. It's a prequel.
That's right.
But man, this movie is it's so good. And the way it ends when he's finally built up enough strength to fight back and he tells her he's finished with it. And he knows as soon as he finishes his book, she's going to kill them both.
Yeah.
That's her plan. It's a murder suicide. Yeah.
Oh no.
Or an unaliving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can say that. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay, good. An unbreathing. And so basically he tells her to go get the champagne. And when she comes back in, I love the scene. He's got what he says is the last page. And he's like, Here it is, Annie. Did you ever want to know the identity of Misery's father? Did you want to know this? Do you want to know that? It's all here. And he lights it on fire.
Okay, that's what I like in the book better is he actually likes blank pages. He falls in love with Misery by the end. He's joyful about writing this character again, and it's really, really good, apparently.
In the book?
In the book, yeah.
Yeah, so, I guess they had time to go into more nuance and detail.
Yeah. It was, his character is just fully fleshed out in the novel, and it's so good.
Nice. Well, I thought James Caan did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end, so he, stuffs the pages in her mouth, hits her with the typewriter several times, and she finally knocks her head on the typewriter.
On the typewriter, yeah.
Dies. But in the
blood
book,
on the floor.
Oh, very much. Mm-hmm. She's gone. And she falls on top of him, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Something like that.
Which is the love story you wanted.
Yeah.
But in the book, isn't it a little bit different?
It is, and I can't remember. It's been so long.
I think it's where he beats her in the head with the typewriter, and she stumbles off, and then dies from her injuries off panel. And when they find her, apparently she had tried to get a chainsaw.
Yeah, she was headed for the chainsaw
barn.
and like Shatter Barn or something. Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh.
She was gonna massacre him.
Oh yeah, she was gonna do it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And so the end of the movie is great. So he's reunited with his agent, Lauren Bacall, the classic Lauren Bacall.
Oh, nice.
Very classic. Yes, Paul. At a restaurant, she's asking, how have you made it through this? And he sees Kathy Bates coming through as a server with the dessert card or whatever, or the drink card. And he sees Kathy Bates and he goes, I think about her from time to time. And I guarantee you, there were a few people when they first saw them like, oh my gosh, she's not dead! She's not dead! Run, Paul! Run!
That's funny. Yeah.
I guarantee you that happened.
Oh yeah, that's kind of like their way of showing that he did have PTSD from it. He was kind of disturbed by it.
Totally. Yeah. In the book
he's like, he's gonna be right about the experience, but it wouldn't matter. She's still gonna be there, part of it inside of him, and like, yeah.
Same thing as the book, yeah. But apparently his new novel's being well received. The Fast Cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I think that book was about he's got a fast car. If he leaves right now, we can ride away. Something about he's gonna be a checkout girl.
Something like that.
I don't know. He's got to make a decision.
You know what we did need is a country version of that song. I'm just gonna say that right now.
You know what? I disagree with you because he changes nothing in the lyrics. He says, "I work as a checkout girl."
I like that. Yeah, I was always taken aback whenever like males or females would flip that to make it make sense for them or whatever, and I was like, that's cheating it. I'm not gonna think you're gay, like or whatever.
Well, maybe Luke Combs is a checkout girl. Maybe that's how he got his start.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah,
I'll say this about the cover: like the original is great. And the original was a huge hit when we were kids.
Yeah.
And the fact that it brought Tracy Chapman back is wonderful.
Yeah, that's true. I like that they did a performance together last year. Yeah, that was cool.
Some critics acted like, oh, no one liked the Tracy Chapman version, but a country guy does. I'm like, no, we equally liked both.
Yeah. I had a friend that would do, he was running karaoke at the time, and he would sing that song back in the day. And I was like, a guy really needs to cover that song. Yeah, because it's in a good, she has a low voice, a low alto voice. And so we can cover it easily. Like,
I was about to say, we could probably sing it.
Yeah.
I've actually been singing the Garbage song, I'm Only Happy When It Rains, and I can sing it.
Yeah.
Shirley Manson has kind of a low range.
No, I still wish I'd seen them open up for the Smashing Pumpkins in Little Rock back in 1986. There we were.
Are you serious?
They said, I think it was at Barton Coliseum, and it starts pouring down rain when they come on stage, and she's like, I'm only happy when it rains. And everyone's like, oh my God, it's really raining.
Because that was their debut album year and the year that the Pumpkins had released their third album, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. And that was huge.
I really wanted to see that. But I've seen both bands now, but much, much later.
I
saw Smashing Pumpkins maybe 10 years ago, and then I saw Garbage open up.
Pumpkins on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, fun fact, Butch Vig from Garbage, actually the producer of Nirvana's Nevermind.
Yeah, that's true. And
he was a music producer.
He was there at the Garbage show. I made sure the whole lineup was there of Garbage, and it was every one of them, even Butch Vig on drums.
Nice. Yeah. You know, me and Rocket, my daughter, sometimes we like to joke around. She's like, Dad, you listened to Garbage in the 90s. I'm like, we sure did.
We did.
We sure did.
Yeah, when they opened for Atlantis, I'm going to tell you, that was one of the best concerts I've ever seen a few years ago.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
I bet it was.
I got pictures, I got video.
He's got proof. He's got proof, people.
I do.
Well, speaking of some of the best, all right, so is there anything else we can say about Misery? I think I got all the notes. It's just a really, really good movie. And you want to go ahead and rate it?
It's good. Yeah, we can go ahead and rate it. Let's do it. Okay.
All right, you want to go first?
We're probably going to do the same thing, I bet. Oh, gosh. All right, let me think.
You go first, and we'll see if we'll do the. Or do you want me to go first?
Go ahead. I want to see if you're doing the same thing I am.
Okay. I love this movie. This movie was a classic in the Shannon household. My parents love it. My sister loves it. Our youth group loved it. Yep. It's just a good movie. It's not a horror film, but it's a thriller suspense. Kathy Bates deserved that Oscar. Like you said, I felt like James Caan deserved at least a nomination.
Yeah.
And this movie is it's probably my favorite Stephen King non-TV adaptation. So I am going to give Misery 5 out of 5 cock-a-doodies.
That's not what I was going to do. Yay.
That's what you were going to do?
No, that's not what I was going to do.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay, good.
And now the word escaped me, but I'm going to give this 5 out of 5.
Okay.
Hoblins. Is that what it was?
Hoblins. Yes.
Yes, the Hoblin.
The Hoblets.
The great Hoblin, yeah.
That reminds me, I did want to say one more thing. So William Goldman wrote the script, and he wanted to include the axe scene, cutting the foot off.
Yeah.
And Rob Reiner fought him for it and said, no, let's not do that. So let's change it to Sledgehammer. And later, William Goldman realized he was right, because Rob Reiner said, if the audience sees her cut his foot right off, they're not going to sympathize with her anymore. They're going to know they're going to slide right into evil.
Okay.
Even though they know she's crazy and evil, you still like her. And he says if you see her cutting his foot off, it
may be
turn
over.
her into pure.
Okay, that makes sense to me. That does, yeah. You still hate her, like she's still crazy for doing it may be crazier for doing the sledgehammers, but you're still with her. You're still with them, you know?
Yeah.
Because
in the trailer, they don't really show what she's swinging, at least in some of the early trailers.
Yeah.
Because my friend,
being far removed from reading the book, it's a really good movie. I just want to say that. It's not that it's not a good movie. Yeah, but that book was just so insanely good.
See, I remember my parents got one of my greatest Christmas gifts, actually in 8th grade, was I got a 3-pack of Stephen King books. It was It, Eyes of the Dragon, and Misery.
Wow. And Eyes of the Dragon wasn't really that well known, I don't think. it was critically acclaimed
at the time.
Yeah.
But again, Randall Flagg was in it, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. All right.
Oh, I did find out that Kathy Bates was in the original 90s The Stand television.
Okay, who was she?
She was Ray Flowers. Now,
was it a small?
I'm not sure. I don't know if he had a big part, but it was a guy named Ray Flowers in the book, but they changed it to R-A-E Flowers for her and The Stand because, they love each other so much.
And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had one of his best roles ever besides Airplane.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember that? Bring action to
I really like that version of The Stand. I mean, I don't know how well it holds up today, but I loved it back then.
Awesome. Well, speaking of standing, what's our next segment, Matches? Take them on the flip-flop, MTV style.
Our next segment is called Needful Things. Oh, wait, no.
What?
It's called Shannon Sings.
Hey, so yes, this is the part where I do a theme song. And tonight, I've got a theme song inspired by Misery. Completely made up. The melody is mine. I made it up myself. Are you ready for this, Matches?
Yes, you're quite the virtuoso. Let's go.
Whoa. I'm a Christian. Okay, yeah, you're right. Let's do this. You ready, buddy?
Okay.
Okay, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. I've been riding so hard ever since I wrecked my car. Got rescued, you see, by a nurse that's back crap crazy. She's been telling me that she's my #1 fan. Bum, 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 bum. She's got me hostage, but I've got an escape plan. Ooh, 'cause I gotta get loose before I'm footloose. Poison her apple juice. She's whack and coming back. Just glad she didn't use an axe. Oh, I couldn't yelp. That sheriff was not much help. Ooh, I tried to move. Now she's gonna knock my foot loose. Cut foot loose. Ah! Cut my foot loose. Oh, cut my foot loose.
Oh, goodness.
It can't get any worse. She's a terrible nurse. Wow. Here she comes with a sledgehammer. Gonna knock my foot loose. And it don't knock my foot loose. Down. Woo!
I'm not gonna lie. That was a little bit good.
That's a little bit good. I'll take it. I gotta say, even though that was an original song, I gotta give props to Kenny Loggins of Loggins and Messina for inspiring me to write that.
Okay.
I gotta tell you something. You know, Footloose, when you hear the song, you hear that riff, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I hear sometimes? Not just Footloose. I started to do it again. Do the... Well, way down yonder in the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. Learn how to live.
It sounds like that, yeah, a little bit.
It does descend into Alan Jackson's Chattahoochee.
Kinda. Yeah, okay. I get it.
I
bet that was on purpose, too, thinking about it. Like, it's got to be some kind of, like, on purpose
connection?
thing. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, maybe. People borrow riffs all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of borrowing, it's our personal favorite part of the show. This is the part of the show when Matthew puts on his hat and solves a crime. Again? Yeah, maybe? Yeah. Who stole the cookies from the cookie jar?
You stole the cookies from the cookie jar.
Sure did.
You did it.
I ain't giving them back. But right now, Matthew's going to solve the mystery of the
video movie corner pick of the week.
Filmed live in front of a studio audience.
Absolutely.
Yes, this is the video movie corner pick of the week. Tell them about it, Panama Matches.
This is the video movie corner pick of the week. And on the video movie corner pick of the week, we pick a movie for the video movie corner down the street.
Do we, Bruce Campbell from Bird Notice?
We do.
I love it. You look awesome. I love it. For those of you who are only listening, you're missing out. Come watch it.
Yeah, it's my new summer.
So we try to. What's that now?
It's my new summer duds.
I like it. I like it. My new summer duds is try not to sweat as much.
True.
So,
yeah.
We're going to see how that works.
I'm sweating pretty heavy tonight. Okay.
Oh, it's because we're hot.
I'm dehydrated too.
Oh yeah. I heard there's a cure for that. So water. So this is the point where we like to highlight a movie that we recommend and like that was necessarily not ever covered by Siskel and Ebert. Maybe it came after, maybe it came before, maybe they ignored it. Maybe they didn't. So would you like to go first?
I don't care. I could go first.
Okay, you go first while I go pick a movie. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. I was going to do, like every week, I was going to do something else. But I pivoted. You see, I pivoted.
I pivoted with my pivot foot.
That's right. And now we're going to go for a movie from 1955.
Whoa!
I know, we're going way back on this one.
Based on a Stephen King novel.
Yeah, I was reading some forums online, and somebody mentioned this as being like one of the tightest scripts ever written, and it sounded interesting to me, so I wanted to see it. And honestly, I liked it. It was only an hour and a half, but it felt like it was 4 hours long.
Is that a good thing?
Sometimes, yeah. It was fine because, man, it's been so much time, and then it just almost a different movie at some point, But it's nice. It's starring Robert Mitchum and Shelley Winters.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, it's called The Night of the Hunter.
Yes!
Have you heard of this one?
I have, because there was a TV movie remake in the very early 90s when I was in 8th grade with the late, great Richard Chamberlain.
Are you serious?
In Robert Mitchum's role. Yes.
Oh, how was that? Did you watch it?
It was pretty good considering I'd never seen the original. I just heard about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an old style movie,
Well, Tell us about it.
Well, it's about Robert Mitchum's character. He plays a preacher of sorts who has love written on his knuckles on one hand and hate on the other. Something like that, anyway.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. And he has the voice of an angel, but the spirit of the devil.
El Diablo.
Yeah, he doesn't like... He's basically a serial killer. They don't really go into depth on this. But you can tell he really hates the women of the night or anyone that might have loose morals. They're not going to make it very far past him.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And he ends up in jail with a father who, I don't know what he did, but he was taken from his family, his two little kids. He has a young son and a young daughter. And he'd hidden a bunch of money with his son. I think it was like $10,000, which is like the equivalent of $2 billion today.
I was about to say
something. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a cool million.
Yeah. So he finds out about them. He finds out where he lived and goes and woos that woman.
Whoa!
And
Whoa!
woo 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 woo. And he is a scary man. And the way he plays this, I think, is just brilliant.
Awesome.
Yeah, he has this cheery demeanor, and then he'll just all of a sudden turn like that. So he's very good at that kind of thing. I like that. And so it's basically turns into like a movie about these kids on the run a bit later. And you get some really nice scenery of them going down the river, and you get some cool little art pieces, like I guess some good sets and stuff behind them. I thought it was
in black and white?
It is black and white. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they end up running away and going to live with another woman who takes in other kids. She never had kids herself, but she takes in kids. Yeah, and then of course he finds them, but it's just really, I thought it was really well done. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite in the whole world, but I really appreciated it a bunch.
Sounds like the TV movie took a little different part then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I maybe you should check it out. Okay, Night of the Hunter. You know what's funny? To audiences in that day, and my parents when they were little, Robert Mitchum was a scary, frightening dude because he also starred in Cape Fear. Another movie that
he was the original Cape Fear guy, right?
He was Robert De Niro's Robert De Niro was his character, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But then we grew up knowing Robert Mitchum as a kindly old grandfather or maybe an old general, right? We saw Robert Mitchum in a lot, or did you see Robert Mitchum in a lot of movies?
I know I have. I just don't know what. Yeah.
I'll see if I can do his voice and be like, I'm Robert Mitchum. I don't know, but I think
he's got a classic 50s voice. He really does.
He does. I think he was in The Firm. He was in a lot of movies.
Oh, okay.
He was in a TV movie in '89 where he played a ninja or something like that.
Are you serious?
A karate expert. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
Robert Mitchum was awesome. Okay, so your pick is Night of the Hunter.
Yeah, 1955's Night of the Hunter. Check it out.
Check it out right now. Well, not right now. Stay for the end.
Yeah.
I'm going a little bit more modern. I'm going old school, but not that old school.
Yeah.
I picked a Stephen King movie, but I picked a made-for-TV Stephen King movie. And I would say this might tie with the original It as my favorite Stephen King TV adaptation. The original It was great. Loved it. Do you want to know how I enjoyed the 2 nights of It on ABC?
Oh, how?
Well, the first night, I enjoyed it with my mother in the living room, being, shocked and, having fun, thrilled.
Yeah.
And then 2 or 3 days later, when they aired part 2, I had my arm in a cast.
Really?
Yes!
Did you go into the, down into the, what do you call it, the sewers or something?
You know what? I should have told people I did that.
Yeah.
No, you want to know what happened? I actually tripped over a friend's foot when we were scrimmaging in basketball and went right on the...
Are you serious?
Broke my wrist.
Oh,
and
no.
I was skinny then. Can you imagine me falling on my wrist now?
Oh, yeah, I remember. You were like tall and skinny back then.
Yeah, well, I'm not tall, but thank you. But anyway, so
Made
I
you seem
picked,
tall.
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I picked a movie that I think it's better because it's a little bit longer, but they're both equally awesome. I picked 1994's sprawling 4-night masterpiece, The Stand.
Ooh, so you do love this movie.
Oh, I do love The Stand. That's why I wasn't saying much. I was keeping it to myself.
Cool.
I was keeping it under wraps.
I was wondering.
There is a remake of it on Hulu, I think. Or
I can't remember.
Plus.
I haven't seen it yet. I want to.
It might be Paramount Plus. I know that Eric, the Viking vampire from True Blood, plays Randall Flagg. But The Stand... Well, I had to get a haircut. You remember the scene in True Blood when Vampire Bill is admiring his haircut? He's like, I like your hair. Well,
Yeah.
I get you right. It's almost like a little bromance. So anyway, The Stand, the original from 1994, is an all-star cast of people who were all-stars at that time and still pretty cool. It's got Gary Sinise. It's got Molly Ringwald.
Wow.
Okay? Yeah, that's right. It's got Fresh Horses' own Molly Ringwald, and she was in some breakfast movie. It's also got Arkansas's own Cora Nimmick, who our generation knows as Parker Lewis not being able to lose.
Are you serious? He's from Arkansas?
Cora Nimmick is from Arkansas. I will champion any actor or actress from Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wes Bentley. Yeah.
Yep. Cora Nimmick. You've got what's her name from Just Shoot Me? Laura San Giacomo.
True.
You've got the girl who I used to have a crush on back in the early 90s, Shawnee Smith.
Really?
That people now know from the Saw films.
Oh, nice.
You've got Sharon. I mean, it's 4 nights, so you've got all these people like Kathy Bates in small roles and big roles. You've got Ossie Davis, the legendary Ruby Dee, who plays the grandma who gets everyone together, Mother Abigail. Okay. You got Jamie Sheridan, who's not that well known, but if you see him, you know him as Randall Flagg, the villain of the piece. Basically, a disease wipes out like most of the world's population. Everyone's got to start over, and it's kind of a morality tale because all the people of questionable character gather in Vegas under this guy who claims to be a savior who will save everyone, named Randall Flagg, one of Stephen King's greatest creatures. Might be the devil, a devil.
Yeah.
And they got to figure out how to basically live and start society, and there's kind of a war between them. Gosh, who else is in that? Ray Walston, old man Ray Walston from My Favorite Martian, lots of other stuff. Gosh, who is Stephen King's in the movie in a small role?
He used to be in his movies. Like he'd have a small role. Like
he always have cameos all the time. Yep. Gosh, who else is in this movie? I should have written it down.
It's too many people.
There's the legendary Matt Frewer, one of my favorite guys. Matt Frewer from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Dr. He plays one of the best characters ever, Trash Can Man.
Ooh.
Who most of his lines consist of bumpity bump, bumpity bump.
Everything he does is just gold, I think. Like everything.
He's genius.
He's so good.
Rob Lowe was in this movie when he was looking for a career resurgence.
Really?
Okay. Yes, I believe it's Rob Lowe. He plays a mute deaf guy. Great performance, though.
Wow.
And a great performance by Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants. Bill Fingerbake as the guy who spells everything M-O-O-N. M-O-O-O-N.
Yeah.
M-O-O-N. That spells quiet.
Nice. Can you watch this anywhere? I forgot to even say. I watched Night of the Hunter on Tubi.
I don't think you can stream it for free. You can buy it on DVD and probably buy it or rent it. I tried to find it for free. I've been meaning to buy it on DVD for years.
Yeah, I need to do that too, really.
I did have all 4 nights recorded because I remember, but unfortunately I missed, I think the first hour of night 3 or night 4 because I asked my mom to sit the VCR because we didn't have a timer. So I told mom, I said, at 7, sit the VCR because I had to go to her graduation. And
are you serious?
Yeah, and my poor mom, she had been sick. I got home and she goes, baby, I'm so sorry. I woke up at 7:45 and said, oh no, and hit the record.
Oh, really?
And I was like, Mama, you've been sick. It's okay. But yes. Oh, it's fine. I eventually saw all of it. But it's such a good film. I had most of it on VCR tape. And I won't spoil anything. But not the last scene of the miniseries. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3. But the climactic battle, the climactic ending. It is one of the greatest endings of any movie I've ever seen. Like, it made me feel so, I can't describe it. It's so good.
Oh, here it is. I found it on Fandango at home for $9.99 in HDX.
Do it. Get it now.
Yeah, that's not bad. All 4 episodes.
My video movie corner pick of the week is 1994's The Stand.
Yeah,
and I bet I left out a whole bunch of other actors who were in it.
There were so many.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, that's true. I was going to tell you the way I experienced Stephen King's It, the miniseries, was vicariously through kids on the playground who actually got to watch it.
That's right, because you would have been like 2 grades below me. So
yeah, we weren't allowed to watch much. That's true.
It's okay. You eventually got to see it.
Oh yeah, I caught up in the 90s with everything.
In the 90s, that was my time. I was recycling.
It's true. Yeah, I learned Prince and a lot of things. Yeah,
that's hilarious. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, true believers, is our video movie corner pick of the week. And if you've seen The Stand, baby, can you dig your man? Matches, wake up. Matches. Matches. Come on, sleepy bird. Matches.
Who are you?
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're okay. You were in a horrible Segway accident, which is weird because they stopped making them. Yeah. You've got broken tibia, fibia, skibia, and it looks like your sciatica is also schmelkus in your gonectozoink.
What is happening?
I patched you together. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a trained, sexy male nurse.
Thank you.
But not only that, Matches, you know what?
What?
I love your podcast. I'm your biggest fan.
Thank you.
I'm a huge fan of your podcast.
Really?
And if I can't have Shannon here, at least I have you.
This isn't weird at all.
No. Hey, you know what I noticed in your bag when I pulled you into the hidden cabin that no one knows about that's on the other side of the world?
What?
Well, I noticed a script for next week's show.
Oh.
So let me see. Matches? Do you kill Shannon off in the next episode of NOMS?
Well,
Matches?
It's not like it's not like that, but
you know what? You have been getting out of your bed a little too much, and now no. I'm gonna make pork chops. This is to make pork chops with.
Oh.
No, what are you afraid of, you crazy man? No. But you've been getting out of your bed a little bit too much, and now I think it's time to take you down a notch to make sure you don't escape. This is for whisking, sir. It's for I whisk my biscuits.
What are you gonna whisk?
Oh, I think you know what I'm gonna whisk. Some justice, Mr. Man. Getting out loose. You know what? I think there's only one way to deal with you. And that's with the dark side of the Force.
Oh.
Matches? Get ready to meet your maker.
Is that the lightsaber from The Mandalorian?
No, that's the dark saber.
Oh.
Yep. Because Rocket asked for the coolest toys.
Nice.
Just kidding. It's me, Shannon.
Oh,
I got you. I actually broke your arm and injured you and dragged you to this little studio just for this gag. Isn't that hilarious?
We're killing you off next week.
I knew it. You know what? That's the only way to up our ratings.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we can have a 5-part mystery. Who killed Shannon?
Yeah.
I like your little sling. You look
Thank you.
cool. Oh my gosh.
Just kidding, people. I'm okay.
Yeah, I never hurt him. I would never hurt my Matches for sure. And I don't think Matches is on. Have you ever ridden the Segway?
I have not. I don't think that I think of.
Yeah, I never have either. Because it's like, well, I could walk to the mailbox, but
Did they really stop making them?
They did. They stopped making them. Was it 10 years ago or 5 years? Yeah.
I just remember Job from Arrested Development riding around on one and being the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I know that any character besides Paul Blart Mall Cop that rode them around was usually
Really
a bit
funny.
of a pretentious jerk.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Could you
exactly.
move?
That's what makes it so funny.
Oh, it does. It does. It's a great visual gag.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of visual gags, if they want to know what makes us tick, if they want to be our number one fans, Matches, how can they reach us?
Well, if you want a visual gag, you'll just look at that guy over there.
Oh,
Yeah, got him.
you son of a...
These nuts. Anyway, so if they want to get in touch with us, you can get in touch with us in the comment section down below. We're on Spotify, YouTube, and audio only, so you might want to check that out on Apple Podcasts. And you can comment down below anywhere you are. You can email us. Please email us at nomspodcast, NOMS podcast at gmail.com. Every big boy's got a Gmail.
That's right. Big boys got to eat too.
We sign up people for our rewards at work, and you would be surprised how many old people have a Yahoo address still.
Well, I do. Did you change yours? Are you a Gmail person?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, at one of the jobs I work at, I have to put in people's emails to join our rewards program.
Yeah.
And there are some interesting ones. And it gets really interesting when they tell you the name, because you can tell it's something they didn't think they'd ever have to tell anyone. And they're like, okay, hang on. Please don't judge me.
Oh, wow.
Funky Phoenix Fun Time.
Yeah. That's
I've
so
heard some good
funny.
ones.
We had a
There's a
lady
lot
the
of
other day. It was like
sexy
her name and then 6'9", and she was an older lady. She wasn't laughing. So I was like, is that on purpose? Or
She was born then. She was born then?
Yeah, baby. Like, I think it was innocent.
Oh, I still remember cracking up at Billy Madison, but they're like, and now we're going to read My Friend Fanny, and Billy and all the kids, Fanny. And then she's like, turn to page 69. Yeah, 69.
It keeps going. I love it.
Oh, fun stuff. Well, speaking of keep going, thank you so much for listening and watching. If you only want to listen to audio only, you're not going to get all this. So I don't know if that's a curse or a blessing.
Could be either.
Oh, you're my blessing. Well, listen, Matches, I'm your number one fan.
Thank
so
you.
you just stay right there I'm coming over.
Oh.
It's spatula time!
Nom nom nom.
Nom nom nom.